Nelson Mandela, a civil rights activist and president of South Africa, focused on fighting for the equality for all people in South Africa and was an international advocate for human rights. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in a village in South Africa. His father was a chief of his tribe. After his father's death in 1927, Nelson Mandela was adopted. He became the first member of his family to receive a formal education. Mandela attended the University of Fort Hare, but was dismissed after a boycott. Even at a young age, Mandela stood up for what he believed in and accepted the consequences. When he was informed that an arrangement for marriage had been made for him, he left his guardian. At the University of Witwatersrand, Mandela became involved in racial issues. It was here that Mandela formed relationships with activists that would help him in his movement later in his life. Mandela married his first wife in 1944. They had 4 children before their divorce in 1958. In 1944, Mandela joined the African National Congress. It was in 1948 the National Party instituted a formal system of racial classification. In 1952, the African National Congress campaigned for the defiance of unjust laws. Mandela opened its first black law firm in 1952. In 1956, Mandela was arrested and put on trial for treason. He was later acquitted. In 1958, he married his second wife, and they had 2 children. They got divorced in 1996. When police fired on peaceful black protesters in 1960, there was a huge aftermath. The government banned the African National Congress and the Pan-Africanist Congress. In 1961, a new armed branch of the African National Congress was formed. In July of 1962, the African National Congress hideout was discovered, and Mandela was sent to prison. Mandela spent years in Robben Island Prison before being transferred to Pollsmoor Prison in 1982. In 1988, he was placed on house arrest, and he was released on February 11, 1990. During his time in lockup, he wrote letters to his family and drafted his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom. In his letters to his family, he tried to give his wife and children hope, and he writes what he imagines his children must be going through while he is detained. He also earned a bachelor degree of law from the University of London while imprisoned. This degree would help him lead the nation when he became the president of South Africa. Mandela won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993 for ending the policy of segregation and discrimination in his country. Mandela became president in 1994 and established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. In 1996, the new South Africa Constitution was instituted. He formed a government of national unity. Mandela united all people in South Africa under one government system. In 1998, he married his third wife. After his presidency, he focused on international problems. He later established the Nelson Mandela Foundation and the Elders. The Elders was a group that consisted of public figures united to fight global issues. He died on December 5, 2013, from a lung infection.
Nelson Mandela International Day is celebrated on July 18th. The United Nations declared this a holiday in 2009 because of the profound impact Nelson Mandela has made on history. As president, Mandela had 3 goals: improving race relations, protecting the minority groups, and constructing a new image of South Africa. He accomplished these goals and so much more during his time as president and throughout his life. Not only did Nelson Mandela improve race relations and protect minority groups within South Africa, but he achieved these goals in many parts of the world. Nelson Mandela said, "Everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do." Nelson Mandela truly rose above every obstacle that was cast his way. He did not let being put in prison or being convicted of treason stop him from achieving his goal of uniting all of the people of South Africa under one government system. One way Mandela promoted unification among South Africa's people was to encourage everyone to attend the Rugby Cup in 1995, hosted by South Africa. This showed that Mandela promoted unification among people in government and leisure activities such as sporting events. Nelson Mandela had an impact on many cultures around the world. He impacted American politics by influencing many politicians, including President Obama. The president said, "And like so many around the globe, I cannot fully imagine my own life without the example that Nelson Mandela set. And so long as I live, I will do what I can to learn from him." Because he had such a profound impact on so many nations, 82 heads of state and government attended Nelson Mandela's funeral. At the service, former British Prime Minister Gordon Brown said, "His life was just an extraordinary journey, from beginning to end, with such an effect both on his own country and the rest of the world." Nelson Mandela truly took a stand in history by changing the system of government in his country and becoming the first Black president of South Africa. He fought for the rights of all people and established foundations that will help people for years to come. Nelson Mandela is truly a leader, not only for the people of South Africa, but for people of all countries and all walks of life.